Today we're going to be talking about the 10 lessons I learned in 2025 as a graduating college student. Hi, my name's Kali, and today we're going to be talking about the lessons I learned last year. So I know it's Feb. By the time you're watching this, it's probably like mid February already, but I still wanted to share some of the stuff that I've learned. Sorry, it's been super busy because I recently started my internship. And on June, I graduate from LaSalle. Number one, what you aren't changing, you are choosing. I think I heard this from Miss Ayin Bernos on her video, like 30 Lessons from 30 last year. And it really stuck with me because whether you pick the right lane or the left lane, you have to go down at least one lane. And if you don't choose, whichever lane you get shoved to, basically that's your choice, even if you didn't directly choose it. So actually, this year, my word of the year is intention. This basically means everything that I'm gonna do this year, it has to be intentional and it has to be something that I'm proud of and I'm happy to be doing. And I'm not just doing it like for the vibes or just, and I'm not just doing it because I wanna get it over with or it's something that's cool to do, even if it's not aligned with my goals. Number two, your problems aren't all that big. Good news or and bad news, especially when you travel. Yeah, so I think a lot of the time, especially in college, you think like life is like so serious and like there's just so much pressure na yes, you can't fail your classes, you have to get everything done properly. And although yes, that's true, you also have to take everything like I guess like with a grain of salt. Like for me, especially when I travel, I realize that there's like a whole other universe on the other side of the globe that you haven't been to, and it's like your first time going there to experience the culture and everything, and you realize like, oh my god, there's like this whole other world out there, and your problems are actually just so minuscule against that. It's a double-edged sword, but personally when I travel I feel like, oh my gosh, it's not all that bad pala. Number three, rest is essential not just to create quality output but to stay sane. Especially during my last year of college, I thought that I was going to go crazy because I really wanted to graduate on time. Not that I was being pressured or anything, it was just like my own thing. So I want to graduate on time, I want to start like in an industry that I want to do. And since I graduate at 21, freshly out of my birthday, it gives me a lot of time to sort of put together or like gain more experiences before jumping into like an industry or a course that I an industry or a job that I'm gonna stay at for like a few years. And I only properly learned the concept of resting when I read the book Rest. I'll put it here. I forgot who wrote it. I got it from watching Ali Abdal's YouTube videos. Super slay. Anyway, I learned that rest is essential because I felt like last year I was so burnt out. Towards the end of the year, I was just like going through the motions, if you get what I mean. So it's hard to function and have like a proper life if you're always like jumping on to the next thing and constantly trying to be busy. I also learned this year that you don't have to be busy to be like productive and have a fulfilled life. Number four, I think I heard this from a like recording or an interview of Taylor Swift somewhere, where she said something along the lines of let go of what isn't serving you to make space for better things. So as a human, you have your limitations. There's only a certain amount of things that you can, I guess, do. Like there's a limit to how much you can do in a day, and that's fine. Which is why you have to prioritize what you give your time to and what you choose to remove from your life. So, in terms of this quote, by letting go of what isn't serving you, meaning these are things that don't bring you joy or just bring you negativity or they just don't contribute to your growth, it's okay to be selfish and choose to not keep them in your life. And this could be organizations, events, people. And it's no hard feelings to them. It just means that you guys aren't on the same wavelength or you don't have the same goal anymore. Maybe when you were younger you do, but you know, you've grown out of that or you've grown out of each other, and that's completely fine. I feel like that's part of adulting, which is why your circle becomes smaller when you get older. Number five, which is a really difficult, like, I guess, financial lesson is to save your money on cute purchases and save your money on cute purchases to spend on experiences that you will remember forever. For example, instead of buying like a new Labubu or a new Crybaby, which people haven't super been like crazy about it as much as last year, instead of buying that, you can invest in like an out of town trip with your friends or like go bouldering for the first time or learn how to paint, learn how to crochet, something like that. And it could be with other people or it could just be like a date within yourself. Um, I realized that I realized that some experiences and dates can get expensive. That's true, but I guess prioritizing where your money goes to make sure that it gives you the best utility, it gives you the best happiness is the way to go. Number six, which is connected to rest a while ago, a balanced life equals a happy life, not a busy life. Growing up, I had this unconscious feeling that you constantly have to like move on to the next thing and always be doing something to put on your resume, to have these achievements. Yeah, and I also had this pressure to always be doing something because it's better than just laying around in bed all day. But when you think about it, it's being busy does not mean you're happy or you're always productive. This year I learned about the wheel of life. I'll put it here. And it's basically like segments or parts of your life. And at the start of the year, what I did is I rated how well I was doing in each part of my life. And I realized I've neglected some parts trying to, finish my education on time, trying to spend time with friends and family, that there are other things like perhaps within myself or within the community that I didn't get to do that I hopefully want to do this year. Number seven, spending for peace of mind is better than saving on space. So this is in terms of physical media, which has been all the buzz lately. So for example, me lately, I've been buying physical books and it's not the cheapest thing in the world. My mom has a Kindle, so technically I could just use that or I could read it on my iPad, on my phone, laptop, anywhere. But I choose to still read on physical books because it gets me off my phone or anything with a screen, to be honest, and it feels a lot better than like reading on your iPad or your laptop, although it's a preference. There are people who just really love like the convenience of digital, then keep doing that. It's just my own personal preference that I like physically holding a book, even if I have like a lamp. I have like a big lamp on my nightstand, so that I can see because it's dark, so that I can see my book properly and just flip through the pages. Next, number eight. Sometimes people will tell you what you are and what you aren't. You don't have to listen to them. Make that definition of yourself on your own. I think growing up, of course, people are gonna tell you like, "Oh my gosh, you're so pretty," or "Oh my gosh, you're so intelligent." They put these, I guess, adjectives, words of definition that you feed into your brain, and over time, you believe them. Obviously, if these are good characteristics, like yes, you're pretty, you're intelligent, you're diligent, that's good. But if there are people in your life who start to tell you more, I guess, negative comments or adjectives thrown your way that this is how they would describe you, I think you have to take it with a grain of salt and consider and observe if you think that's actually who you are. Obviously, we're open to criticism here, but I think you should give yourself the benefit of the doubt and check in with yourself, observe yourself, how do you act if you're really what they say you are. Like, are you really that adjective? For example, someone called you like a liar, like, oh my gosh, you're a liar. Um, but you feel that you've always been honest with how you feel, you've always been truthful, then technically you're not a liar. Something like that. Yeah. That's like a big eye-opening thing this year. Last year, sorry, for me, because it could also come from people really close to you who you hold at such a high standard, but actually it's not true. So, just take it with a grain of salt. And no offense to them, maybe they just have other things going on in their life and it's just different. Number nine, in connection to the whole digital less life or screen free life, I highly suggest bringing a pocketbook wherever you go. So write down your random thoughts, and honestly, it's better than randomly doom scrolling and technically not remember the media that you're going to consume, especially on TikTok. So lately, I've used like the super small Muji notebook. I'll just put it here. And I just put like random stuff like lists, what do I want to do, what do I want to finish today. It can just be like my grocery list or my expenses for the day. I don't know. It technically serves like as your Apple Notes, but in physical form. I don't know. I just like seeing time pass by. Yeah, there's nothing that quite encapsulates how time passes by than a notebook, because you can see like how many pages you've been through compared to like if you write on an iPad or you take notes on your phone, you don't really see it physically. So yeah, I really like having a pocketbook, like writing down my random thoughts writing down my random thoughts. Sometimes I have like a video idea from there, and then I expand it in like my bigger notebook, so it really helps with brainstorming and being more creative for me. Lastly, number 10, no matter how busy you get, I hope you still find the time to read books. Find ways for your life not to be so mundane and monotonous. So back in December actually, I finished reading A Little Life, and it took me the whole year to finish it because I was so busy. And whenever I get the free time, I just wanna like lie in bed and watch Netflix, like passively resting. But since I technically only have just internship and one subject for this term, I have like a lot more time on my hands. So I bawled my eyes out. I bawled my eyes out at the end of that book, and I don't know, it just made me feel really good. I don't know if it's like a girl thing or a me thing. I enjoy reading books and being really connected to the character and crying at the end, perhaps because it's like something bad happened to them, or actually, I don't want to spoil, but yeah, something happens to them or their significant other or people in their life, their family, people that are dear to them. Yeah, so that's all. Comment down below if there are any lessons that you especially like, you agree with, disagree with, or other lessons that you feel like I didn't include in this list that you feel like should be included. Subscribe down below. I'm so happy to hear your thoughts, and click the bell so you can be notified for the next video. That's all. Bye.